Okay. The button was pushed and I was looking at it the whole time. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Indie Council, which is very special because we are at Summer Game Fest. Ooh. Feeling festive. But this is the place for the biggest and greatest
leading voices
from across the industry to gather to talk news, titles, and everything indie. I'm your master of ceremonies. I remember what title I give myself.
Yep.
Jill Grote, the Indie Informer, and today it is me and Mike Towndrow, director of 6-1 Indie.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. We're here to talk about indie things.
Yep.
And we're the only indie people here.
Yeah, because Janet Garcia does not like indies, clearly.
Janet Garcia was just, it was unexpected, but she was like, I will never play another indie game again.
Jenny Wyndham, too afraid to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too afraid of us.
Yeah, we love Jenny, though.
Actually, LA right now, a little
A
scary.
little scary. Understandable.
Did you
Maybe
see all
Jenny
the
knew
smoke?
something that was going on.
See all the smoke?
What if Jenny is like the mastermind behind it all?
Let's not say that on
Let's
the
not.
internet.
Everyone be cool, okay? Everyone be cool. We didn't say that. Jenny's amazing. We love her.
And Janet.
And Janet. We do love her.
Maybe she pops up at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? She could appear at any moment right behind us. Right behind us. So we have been playing a lot. It's the second day of play days.
Yep. My last day.
Yeah, sadly he is going to leave us. So we have been playing a lot. I'm still in the middle of things. I've still got things to play, but we have some impressions to bring to you guys. You're gonna have to check out the 6-1 Indie website and the Indie Informer website. I'm like, I can't remember my own website's name. Don't worry about it.
It's been a long 2 days.
It's been a long 2 days. To go deep diving into our impressions. There's going to be a lot to share, and it's going to be a lot more than we can talk about here. But to start out, Mike Towndrow,
yeah,
what are your sort of first impression top
of just the
show games that you have played?
Oh, the games themselves. Rapid Fire. Blighted, which full impressions are on 61indie.com currently. It's the new drink box joint.
It's wild that he was able to write that, y'all.
Lumines Arise is incredible. I can't stop thinking about it. I want that game out so I can just lose so many hours into it. You said just 3, right?
I didn't limit it, but we can say 3.
All right.
It's unlimited. I'll talk about. I'll say 3.
Okay.
But I can't confirm or deny if these are my top 3 because I still have a full day tomorrow. So what am I looking at for top 3? I think Toem 2 is definitely up there.
Yep.
I know all of y'all know Toem, originally beautiful little photograph game, black and white. Now it is in 3D. I really love what they are doing with that world.
Quick time out. I just saw somebody with a Playdays Summer Game Fest skate deck. I really want it. I'm very jealous.
Can we run
that was?
And just I'll distract them.
Just kick them in the shin.
You grab it and run.
Dude, give it up too.
Is that the only thing that you're grabbing and running at Summer Game Fest? Who knows?
Things we cannot say on the
Who knows?
I took some pencils.
No, yeah, the pencils. We've talked about this already off camera. There's someone whose job it was to sharpen like hundreds of pencils that have been left on the tables for the media room, which is where we are currently. Very lovely upgrade to the media room last time.
Oh my God, big time.
It is covered. It is somewhat secluded. Last year, if you watched our episode from last year, that was the media room then. So yeah, we're having a great time. We've got 3 pencils. So it's not really stealing. It's okay. It's going to be a good souvenir for us.
Yeah. Toem 2.
You just be interrupting me in the middle of Toem 2. I like how we kind of look like we match as well. We thought about
we
that.
kind of do.
We are in the Toem world, in the black and white. So Toem 1, you are going around, you're taking photographs, you're having very silly adventures, and the second one is more Toem.
Sorry, was I supposed to expound on my 3 picks? I thought we were just naming games.
I was going to talk about mine.
All right, so we'll circle back to me after.
We'll circle back. Do we remember how to podcast? Are we at that level? We're at that point at Summer Game Fest where we just. I think we just stare at the camera for a while and we hope for the best. That's how a good podcast works, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Toem 2. It was taking pictures of ghosts It was wizards who really want to be turned into frogs because he's jealous of his neighbor. It was trying to get a block to look like another block.
Oh, I did not have the mental capacity to even
to do that. Did you get the riddle correct?
Which riddle?
I remember me and Janet talked about this a little bit. There was a riddle
with the daughters.
No.
And I was like, the devs were sitting next to me. I was like, what am I missing?
Oh my gosh. So
yeah, go for it.
Should I say the riddle or let it be a surprise? Maybe let it be a surprise.
By the time
there's a riddle. I hope y'all remember this when it goes to the game actually coming out. But there was a riddle in the game where it asked something that was sort of a logic puzzle. And I immediately was like, yep, I know this. I was confident. I scrolled over to the correct answer. I hit that button with gusto. And then the developers looked at me with tears in their eyes, welling up. There might have been little like anime sparkles going on there because they were like, nobody has gotten that answer correct. It's wild how many people. So I'm like over here like, oh, okay, I didn't know. But then I talked to Janet and she was also like, oh no, I totally didn't get that. And it seems like
Janet Garcia, Mike Garcia, I was going to say. Mike Souter, 2 thumbs up.
Gosh.
2 thumbs
what
up.
Would Mike Garcia be? A monster.
Honestly, it's just Isaiah.
That's actually kind of true.
It really is.
Isaiah is a lovely human being. We love him. And there is, from what I understand in Toem 2, you are once again traveling around the country. You are doing nice things for people, collecting those stamps, going to the next place, collecting more stamps to get to the ultimate thing, which is, I think, another phenomena.
I didn't get any kind of like story beats, really.
Right. Not from the game, from what I understand from like maybe
press release or trailer or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure where it goes, but I'm like really just happy to have more Toem. And that's exactly what this was.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. It's more Toem, and I feel like that could be misconstrued as something negative, but that's all I want. I want more Toem. I appreciate that there's more verticality that causes or it makes for some fun
it's really cool.
puzzles and exploration. I know one of the quests was like finding flags in a high place and like you're climbing buildings and whatnot. That was really cool. I really like the new like mechanic of when you're holding the camera up. The tool that we had available to us was just like a hammer, but there's gonna be a suite of tools. So like if there was blocks in the way or whatever, you could pull up your camera and then hit like X or whatever, and it bonks the blocks and jills them away. So yeah, it's like more Toem, but like with just more tools. To play with. More
tools, 3D. They've got like climbing mechanic now, which is really fun.
Yeah, it's really whatever their new rendering system is. It is really pretty. It works very well.
Yeah, 100%. So it's hard because when you're thinking about your games of the show, I kind of want my games to be just like wild, unexpected. Like, oh, I wasn't sure that was going to be the thing, and it was. So for me to think Toem 2 is in my top 3, just more Toem is exactly what I want.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to expound on one of yours?
Sure. I'll start with Blighted.
Yeah, you will.
Blighted from Drinkbox. So yeah, full impressions are on 61indie.com. But when we saw, well, first off, we got the appointment invites, I don't know, sometime April, whatever.
Yeah. Way back when.
I quickly saw new Drinkbox title and my heart dropped. I was so excited. Drinkbox is one of my favorite studios out there. Everything they do is just impeccable.
Right.
Couldn't wait to see what it was going to be.
Nobody Saved the World. Great game. If you haven't checked it out,
series,
go check
incredible.
that out.
My personal favorite Drinkbox game, which is a weird poll, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Severed. I fucking love Severed so much. It's my favorite game as well.
Is that like totally on brand? Yeah.
Is dungeon crawler on brand for me? It's like that's the thing. It's like I think they have, and this carries into Blighted. They are one of those studios I hold so much respect for. They could easily be on Guacamelee 5 or 6 at the moment, but they keep on outside of like the occasional sequel with like the Guacamelee series and the Mutant Blob series. They are always trying something different. They are always tackling new genres. When we saw the trailer last week during the Day of the Devs preview, I the impression I got from the trailer was like, oh, they're doing a Hades.
Yeah,
Cool,
it seemed
great.
that way. Yeah.
I'm so grateful I got to play the game because I didn't realize this was a Souls-like. I didn't realize this is their take on a Souls-like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they are doing it so damn well. It has all the touchstones of what makes it like what you would expect out of a Souls-like. Parries, dodges. It has like the Bloodborne like gun. It has the Bloodborne health recovery system in there a little
it
bit.
does a little bit.
But and something I mentioned to the devs, it feels like the natural progression of what comes after Nobody Saves the World, where like the combat very much still feels like Nobody.
Yeah.
But it has like that Soulsy methodical feel to it. And the reason I wanted to bring up specifically the word methodical is that that's like a classic like cliche trope or term that like Soulsy people use to describe combat. They took something that's like heavily argued in the Souls community, which is like accessibility and difficulty in the genre, and tied it to a gameplay element. So there's a system called Blighted, I guess Blight, where the better you do in the game, like the more enemies you're killing and more bosses you defeat, you are building a Blight meter and you gain Blight points. Each point you gain, the difficulty increases. So the game, like it's a methodical, active difficulty scaling that progresses with you. So as you get better, the game's going to challenge you a little more.
And it's not just the fights too. They're like talking about how like there are so many tendrils in this game. I don't think we need creepy crawly tendrils everywhere, but you know, that's just me.
Horse spider, you don't like horse spider?
No, just like in the world, just like but the developers were saying like, yeah, as you get more blight, those tendrils will actually like come out and like try to get you and try to like push you around and like really mess you up. And I'm like, that's a cool system.
If you are having a trouble, if you die a couple times, you lose a blight point, it gets a little easier. You go also, I don't know if you had the opportunity to try it, but like in this game's version of like the bonfires, there is a cleanse blight. Did you hit that?
I did not. I wanted full blight. I wanted as much blight as possible.
Also, humble brag, I was the first person outside Drinkbox to play this game.
There you go. There we go.
I first tried each boss solo.
No, I definitely did not. But for me, the developer said the secret magic word, which was tunic. So this is not just a like boss rush. This is not just a like really punishing souls.
They call it Metroidvania, so like, it's really encouraging.
It does have a lot of like, you need this skill to get through this thing, to get to the next thing. But for me, instead of being the combat king, I was apparently the secrets queen. So like secrets. So anytime there was like something behind a waterfall, something kind of hidden by the camera, I could not resist just going around the corner and being like, well, if there's anything there. And I'm like, that's not great when you're playing a demo that you have to be like done with in a certain amount of time, but I can't resist the urge. So I was really, really happy to be rewarded by, if I just go down here, what's happening. And there's cool things, there's cool like characters, there's more souls over here. And I think the developers kind of devolved into like gleeful children at that point, where they're just like, we're so happy. No one has done that yet. No one has gone into that area yet. And I'm just like, okay, so from here on out, this is all I'm focused on, is finding all the secrets.
Me running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, barrel-assing through to the boss.
So yeah, I mean, they said that there were things, the way that they compared it to Tunic was like, there are things in the game that you don't know what to do with until you know what they are. So it's easy to pass by them. And I think there were some blobby things that I saw, and they're like, that might be an instance of that. I'm like, I wonder what the blobby things do. I'm interested in that.
The other thing also, of course, it's obviously Metroidvania elements, like similar to Guacamelee, and another touchstone with Nobody Saves the World. So we fought 2 bosses. One was like I guess technically mini boss, I don't know, and then there was the main boss. When you defeated the quote unquote mini boss, a mana bar pops up and you kind of inherit the boss's like main attack. So it was like this big AoE attack.
Yeah, this is a creeper little game. This is a sicko game.
So like that's very much like Guacamelee, where you're unlocking elements from enemies. Obviously, nobody saves the world.
Yeah.
Also, really interesting
Backstory.
narrative as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. You are in like a tribe, culturally speaking. You have this ritual of death where when someone dies, you plant a seed in their skull so that it grows and you can eat the fruit, and you have all of the cultural knowledge that came before you, and that's how you continue on your traditions. But someone just decided, hey, what if I just ate the brain? And nothing bad ever comes from that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, wiped out like all of existence, turned into a monster. So now when we defeat a boss, we actually eat its brain
to get that
to get
reclaim the
knowledge.
memories
Yeah.
of your ancestors.
So to reclaim the memories of our ancestors and learn where the big boss is.
Yeah, so you're just hot on the heels of Cristo.
I remember they said his name a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to remember
Yeah,
that.
it's
Big bad.
Shout out to George from Papa Gender for sending the press release real quick.
George, you're A+.
Had the name. But yeah, it's just really interesting. And like when it cuts to black or cuts to the title screen, but when you eat the brain or digest the brain, whatever you want to call it, your little shoulder did a thing.
Yeah, you started blighted out.
Another ability, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe something where you are going to start losing it and it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It could be either way. Also, I think we're not putting enough emphasis on just how beautiful this game is.
So this
despite
is
the fact you're eating brains.
The first 3D rendered drink box game, but it's still
goddamn
wholeheartedly drink box, but it's so beautiful. Like the protagonist going through grass and like just colors popping up the screen.
Yeah.
They're very contrasting, like bright pinks like this, but like deep blacks, bold lines. Game is, I think, gorgeous.
Yeah. So glad I went hands-on with that. That's one of those things where, it's sort of a 50-50 when you get one of those, I can't tell you what this game is, but hopefully you like it.
With Drinkbox, I trust them.
Yeah. There was going to be a game worth playing either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's head on to, I haven't ordered these, so not in any particular order.
I also don't know that those are like my top three.
Those are the ones. Those are the three.
I stupidly, this is probably on my top. I didn't mention it because I'm face blind.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
I want to talk about Mixtape. Did you get a chance to play that?
I did not because so I was scheduled to play it with Kyle, but that enhanced email came in
at the last minute,
quite late, and there was one appointment left. I had to see. I was like, at worst, this is like a humanity-like thing. At best, it's a Tetris Effect type thing. Yeah. I'm so glad it is what it is. But we're talking about Mixtape.
Mixtape from Beethoven and Dinosaurs.
Yep.
Dinosaurs and Beethoven. Both of those things exist.
Chicken or the egg?
Yeah. This is the team from The Artful Escape. I've ran into the developer at the Summer Game Fest like opening showcase. I was able to talk about how great that kind of reveal was during the showcase. So we've been kind of joking back and forth, and I met him originally at Game Informer when I did coverage for The Artful Escape, and I did the review for The Artful Escape. So I'm very familiar with both him and the IP and his previous work. So I was ready to go into Mixtape and be like excited, and I knew it was going to be a lot of fun. I had a bar and it was high, and he still smashed it because it was like just kind of like The Artful Escape. The gameplay of it is not really the point. Somehow this team makes you experience things, and in this case it is the mayhem and mega feeling of being like a teenager in the 90s, where like maybe these things didn't really happen the way that it seems like it happened, but at one point you're like flying across the freeway in a high-speed chase in a shopping cart, and you're just spinning around uncontrollably, and the music is so freaking impeccable. Like, I know you saw that
the list. Yeah.
It is so good. Everything about the audio is completely, there's nothing you would change. And it's so embedded in the story. It's embedded in who the characters are. It's embedded in what the actual narrative unfolding is, because the characters, it's very like fourth wall breaking. So they're kind of talking to you. The main character's job is sort of they're finishing up high school, and she wants to go off and be this big music senior. I can't remember exactly what the title is, but it's like working behind music, making mixtapes, essentially.
Okay. Like audio engineering?
Yeah, essentially, but like senior audio engineer or something like that. So she is planning to leave her hometown in 24 hours. The plane is leaving. All the money's been spent. She's ready to go. So this is her last hurrah. And to kind of set it up, she's like, before bands play, they have a set list of music that they play. So everybody knows this is what's happening and we're getting close to the actual show. So every part of this game is set by the music.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Some things happen in that game. I kind of wish you had played just so you could know that I was traumatized.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. Like, if I had to skip any demos, like this is the one I was okay skipping because I'm already all in on the game. I'd rather just experience it at its full once it's ready to go.
Yeah. I was worried because this is obviously not as bright and vibrant in visuals as the Artful Escape, because it's not like set in outer space in an epic odyssey. But somehow they still captured that scale. They've captured that, like, the thrill of the set pieces. So like it's just as, if not more so, like feeling really amazing about your life as a teenager. And it's like you look back at your life as a teenager and you're sort of like, you blow everything up and everything was like way more wild than it actually was. And then between those like bombastic, wild mayhem scenes, you get like you're walking through your childhood house and you're looking at like memories and you're talking to your friends and yeah. And one of those memories has scarred me for life. And I'm going to talk more about it in my article, but I'm going to let you just kind of imagine what that was like.
That didn't get a date this weekend, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
So it's unfortunate, but we'll keep watching for it because that's a day one must play.
Oh, yeah. What are the other ones I mentioned? Oh, Lumines Arise. I am a Tetris Effect sicko. I love that game. The first time, like the first weekend I played that game, like I was just wrapped up in all the emotions. That game made me cry with how fucking beautiful it is. So that made me, the Tetris Effect made me just such a immense fan of that team. I think they did something special with a classic formula that is hard to iterate on, which is Tetris. So yeah, like when that appointment came through, I immediately booked it in hopes that it was another Tetris Effect like experience, and seeing that state of play. And as soon as that first visual popped up, I knew it was enhanced, and I knew we were getting a Tetris Effect like thing. Right. But it was like, what's the puzzle? Like, what is it? And like when I first saw the sweep,
the reaction.
Oh my god,
I wish I had been literally in the room with you.
Yeah.
But I was virtually with you when that happened. Yeah. And it was something to see.
It was that and Pac-Man being playable in Hot Shots were the two big pops from State of Play. So yeah, Lumines Arise. If you are familiar with Lumines, I think originally PSP joints, and then not recently, but in the past few years, a remaster came out for like Switch, Steam, the whole 9 yards. Hard to explain what the puzzle is. Are you a Lumines person? Have you ever played?
I have not. So you're gonna have to explain it to
I'm gonna try.
Everyone. Me included.
Tetris, where Tetris is like vertical like this, like a Tetris board like that. Lumines flips it on its side, and you are working on a horizontal plane. So you're building 4x4 blocks, trying to match each blocks and do the Tetris thing. Very simple.
I like the visual.
Thank you. So while that's happening, though, the blocks, when you're doing matches, like you have to at least match 4 shapes. And each block has a combination of 2 different colors, shapes, whatever you want to call it. So like Tetris, where you instantly stack like the right colors and make Tetrises and whatever, they disappear right away. With Lumines, there's a like a bar, a scale, whatever you want to call it, that sweeps through, and that's what clears the board for you, and that's how you register points. So you could stack the entire horizontal plane, and then the sweep kind of accumulates all the points. Okay. That's what Lumines is. Awful explanation.
It was fantastic. Don't put yourself down.
Lumines Arise, it just Tetris Effect size is it? Where what I played is so killer visuals, killer music. What I played was, I guess, just like a round of like their arcade mode where it was one fluid thing that took you on. I think in Tetris Effect they called it journeys. That just took you through different visual scenarios, if you want to call that. Like, I don't want to say the term like levels or stages because that implies that like you're starting the board again. Like throughout each stage, you are doing your same Lumines board and working off what you did in the previous stage. So I worked through 3 of them. The first one was, it's hard to kind of remember. The first one was like monochromatic black and white. There was 2 like hands on each side of it, and the entire time there was like kind of puppeteering what you were doing. So really visually striking, like seeing all of the strings attached to the Lumines blocks, and like super sick. Next one was like very mechanical, like there was gears and like it looked like AC units and stuff like that. Just like pulsing with the music. The third one, which was my favorite that I got to experience, 2 like vibrant chameleons on each side of the board.
Ooh.
And they're like licking on the board, like their giant tongues are hitting the board.
Can we just stop right here? What's indie games are new trend tongues. Tongues is the trend.
You're the frog, you're the crab, you're the tongue. Let's
you're
make
the
it happen.
Tongue. You're the tongue. It's happening. It is happening.
It is happening. So like the tongue and like they're interacting with the environment, like where like the blocks are like behind. So like the effects are happening in front. It is so, I can't believe that this is a video game that looks the way it does. I like, people are so fucking talented and impressive. It mechanically borrows the thing, or the new thing it takes from Tetris Effect is, I forgot what it's called in Tetris Effect, but you hit the triggers, it stops everything, and you could keep on building and making stacks and crazy combos. It does that. There's also another thing, I forgot if it's in the original Lumines, but you'll find like occasionally there will be a block with like, it looks like a D-pad. And let's say it's like an orange block with the D-pad on it. And I have a bunch of orange blocks on my board that are touching each other, that they're not necessarily making like combinations or puzzles. They're just touching each other and they're still on the board. If the D-pad block touches one of those, it creates a path across all the ones that it's touching. And it wipes out all of them that are connected.
That sounds fun.
Super cool, super satisfying.
If you have the chameleons, does it become a tongue?
Maybe. My favorite aspect of it, and I didn't notice it until the chameleon bit. The way this game utilizes the DualSense controller. I realized my mic fell a little bit. Hopefully it's fine. I was probably a little quieter. My bad. The way this game utilizes the DualSense, the music is fucking incredible. That's what like every piece is working in tandem with one another. The music is at the core of what these games are. The music is remarkable. It's the same composer as Tetris Effect. I felt vibrations and whatnot during the first 2 stages, but it was the last stage with like this bump music. You feel every pulse, every rhythm in different parts of the controller, and it's so immersive. Like that was the moment where like I was starting to. It was like crescendoing throughout, but like that was the moment where I forgot I was in a public setting at a gaming event, and I was just in. It's a magical.
Did I happen to catch you during that moment in a picture? I might have.
I think so. Yeah,
it's possible.
This team is so good, and it was a magical experience. And like I said earlier, I wish this was like a state of play out now game, because it's all I want to play and all I want to do.
Speaking of magical experiences, but perhaps maybe not, I think one of my biggest maybe surprises, but also excitements coming out of the game, playing of the games that I've played so far, is Grave Seasons. And we've seen this
written by Sun, who presented at the Indie Game Awards.
Well, there we go.
Look at that.
This game was introduced when Bloomhouse originally did. It's like, this is our slate of games coming up. And I was immediately interested because it was definitely it's a cozy, creepy kind of farming game, and then it's not. So I loved it. I was expecting to go in and love it. you are like the first thing that pops up is basically a little screen that's like you've escaped from prison and you only have a crowbar. Now you have to make the rest of your life work. And it's like, what? What? So it's like the whole trope of the farming game where you've come to this farm that's like for some reason ramshackled, run down, that you need to build back up again. Well, the whole reason for that is because you're out of prison and the last person who owned this farm has just mysteriously disappeared. So that's how we start. And then it goes back into cozy. So you can kind of like sink back in and get lulled into that false sense of security, thinking like, oh, this is going to be. So you've got your basic, like you are farming, you are collecting all your crops, you can go and make lovely meals. Two different characters come in and sort of introduce themselves and you can give them gifts to like increase. I was ready to make friends. I'm like, I want to make sure to like give you guys gifts that are going to make you really happy. So I was making salads, I was making like pepper poppers. I wanted to make sure that I was on top of this. I was selling things to make sure I get that cash. I gotta build up. I don't have anything yet. I'm just out of prison apparently. The whole game itself, very beautiful. The grounds are lovely. And then you run into something that's just like a little weird. So like there's a greenhouse that you can't get into. There's like a little barn area that has your workbench. So obviously you're doing like, you're making planks out of wood and that kind of thing. You're smelting your ore and stuff. But if you look at the outside, the chimney is like dripping red.
Look, wait, there's a skate deck.
Oh my gosh. Get it quick.
Where is that?
I don't know. Follow that man.
I should have went to go ask him. Are they in there? I'm sorry, keep talking about Grave Seasons.
Yeah, no, Grave Seasons is great. And then it's got, like you would expect, it's got a day and season and time mechanic. So you're going through and doing all of these things and it gets darker and darker. And then one of your new friends says, hey, there are some herbs that grow in the woods. And
you keep talking. That man went up without the skate deck and came back.
So go get it. If he comes back with the skate deck, you guys, this is going to be the thing of the show, and that you are finding out right here, right now, if it actually happens. So you're gonna have to wish him luck with me. Say good luck in the chat, and if you don't say it in the chat or the comments, you know what I mean. If you're not saying good luck below,
hey, how are you?
Mike's gonna come back without this skate deck, and he is going to.
I thought I saw something walk in, but
also we're gonna say things about Grave Season.
No, I am.
He's not here. Just between the two of us, okay? It's just between
Thanks for
us.
everything.
So I wasn't gonna ruin anything, and I'm not gonna ruin anything for him. So, oh no, you guys, he's coming back. He's coming back. Did you write in the chat? Quick, go down and write in the comments. Good luck. Okay, what happened?
First off, apologies we were talking at the same time because I got kicked out because they're closing.
Oh no.
I didn't say anything.
Well, we tried. Well, I can't tell you what I was going to tell you. I can't tell you the spoilers, everybody. But when the night comes, your friend comes to you and says, like, hey, let's go to the woods and collect some herbs. Because there are some things that only happen in the woods at night, and everyone else around here is too afraid. So, of course, you go in, and things happen very quickly. It goes very quickly from being cozy to I am not safe. This is not okay. They are not at all scared of going visual with things that are happening. And you kind of want to get out of Dodge, but they make you look around for like what might have happened. And by the time you kind of put some things together and you run back to your house, it's the end of the demo. So I'm like, this is maybe, it's hard to say because this is the game that came out of left field for me. I knew I was going to be interested in it. I didn't know I was going to be this interested. So,
Lightweight Gaming, co-host of the Trophy Room, her game of the show, I believe it's her game of the show. Wait, you see a skate deck?
Nope, sorry. I thought I saw it, but I didn't.
I wanted to go off the heels of you and one of my favorites from the show that I still am thinking about quite a bit.
Yep.
And I have it open on my notes. That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah,
when
because
going
it's
down the
right
list.
in front of your face, of course.
The other Blumhouse game. Blumhouse or Blumhouse? You say Blumhouse?
I said Blumhouse. Did I say Blumhouse?
You said Blumhouse.
Okay, I think it's Blumhouse.
Yeah, it's Blumhouse. Jason
I
Blum.
said Blum. Don't. Nothing.
I'm so happy
Nothing
it went that way.
Nothing bad happened over here. No,
Nothing?
don't look. No, don't look. Everything's fine.
The other Blumhouse game, I don't have the developer's name. Apologies. But Crisol Idols,
Yep.
which is funny enough, it was a game that I was following quite a bit before Blumhouse picked it up, just over like TikTok and stuff like that. Was super stoked that it was playable here. The way I was pitched it was as like core Bioshock, which immediately I was like, oh, okay. But going hands on with it, it's a lot more than just like a basic kind of a first-person shooter experience. So this is a first-person shooter survival horror. There are definitely hints of Bioshock. There is like that weighty feel to it, that mechanical feel to it. A lot of the enemies are puppets and machinery and stuff like that. Very similar to like
that's a big nope.
Very just like. Oh, sorry, Crisol Theater of Idols. Crisol Theater of Idols.
By Vermilla Studios.
Studios.
Or Vermilla.
So yeah, the Bioshock comparison comes into the weight of it and just how you're exploring the environments and whatnot. So environments are very dense. You explorable buildings that have like some currency and like health bits and whatnot. The real interesting twist here is there is no ammo in the game. There's no ammunition.
Okay.
I
don't love that.
The way you reload your guns is you have to sacrifice health.
Okay.
So like the pistol, for example, like you hit reload and like spikes come out of like the hand portion. And it sucks up your blood to reload. So there is like this like risk reward is not like the way to put it, but like there is this like heavy emphasis on exploration because like there are like corpses throughout the environment that you could drain their blood from. There's like mermaid blood syringes that you could hit yourself with in a pinch.
Normal
There's
stuff.
this interesting sense of strategy where like, let's say I found a corpse, but
let's say Mike Townjo found a corpse.
Maybe I forgot what full ammo is, but let's say like full ammunition is like 10 bullets. Let's say I have 6 bullets still in the chamber and health is still like okay. Do I want to grab the corpse now and like kind of waste that, or do I wait until like I'm out of ammo, reload fully, health is all the way down, and then go back to the corpse to regain health and drain their blood? All normal things. So,
that's
like,
a dilemma I'm in all the time.
So yeah, real sense of strategy and exploration, which is really interesting, and something like that I think mechanics I haven't really experienced before. It's a fun twist on the survival horror trope of like running out of ammunition. I think it's just a fun, unique twist on it. I do have this open so I could read my notes. Do you want?
Oh yeah.
Do you know this lady Dolores? Have you experienced Dolores in your time around that Blumhouse area?
I don't think so. Why?
So Dolores
Who's Dolores? Is there literally a monster coming to get me?
So Dolores is this game's version, or at least the level that I played. This stage that I played.
Okay. It's in the game, everybody. It's okay.
Yes. This game's is Mr. X.
Okay.
So if you played Resident Evil 2, Mr. X, or like Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, a being that just constantly chases you.
Yeah.
Dolores is probably like 8 feet tall, giant robot lady, puppet lady, very scary. She sounds like RFK.
Okay.
Just screaming at you. So yeah, at a certain point, this being pops up, and my first instinct was like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot the thing." Doesn't do anything. So you just have to. It's kind of I guess it is like the Mr. X kind of thing, but it is a cat and mouse game of like there's a heavy reliance on stealth. So maybe like I found myself like going back into some of the buildings to get away and just like kind of chill out while she was like looking for me.
Is there any option to just like be safe? Okay.
No.
Yep.
So yeah, it's heavy reliance on stealth and like just waiting, picking and choosing your moments to go out there. If you are not crouching or if you're running to like a gate that you're trying to get to, she'll hear you and she'll come after you. There's this like really, it does a great job of like playing with tension, especially with like the sound design. I was playing with headphones. Similar to the combat, the weightiness is very much heard as well. So like while I'm like cranking a gate open, I
Yeah.
hear heavy ass footsteps coming after me.
Nope.
And it creates this like, oh my god, hurry up. It is so good. It does dread and tension so well. And
I'm
very
really
excited for this.
I'm excited for you. I love this for you.
And so
I'm
the
never
thing-
gonna go near it.
This is the thing. I wrote it like my last point here. I'll just read it verbatim. Blumhouse continues to surprise and understand what the future of indie horror looks like, from small pixel adventures like Grave Seasons
Grave Season.
to high fidelity experience that could rival the AAA's like Crisol.
Yeah.
Because it very much feels like a quality AAA experience. There's some stuff there, it's work in progress in development, whatever. Like a couple little bugs here and there, little hitches. Well, not hitches. The game ran super smooth, but like sensitivity issues
Right.
with FPS,
That's
whatever.
something about all of the games here. Summer
Totally.
Game
That's
Fest.
like-
they're not final builds. In some cases, they're like super pre-alpha builds. So you have to be
But like
understanding us to some degree. But
like aside from that, like I don't know how big this team is. Like, but if you told me this was like Judas, for example, or if this was BioShock 3 and just like a spin-off from BioShock 3, I totally believe it. It is so impressive.
well, I think those are the games, but we still have a lot of games, not only that we haven't talked about or that I'm playing tomorrow, but we've been to other events. Like we went to the Mix and we played games. We played games, Mike.
Mhm.
We've been playing games at the Mix.
We sure did.
So we've been playing games like all weekend. I pushed him towards one.
You did, but I like you know how it goes. Somebody said hi. I ended up talking to them.
So there are all kinds of games, all kinds of impressions that we're going to be doing. We're probably going to have a much bigger discussion from everybody on the crew about how things have gone. You'll see what Jenny's been up to, why she couldn't be here with us, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But I think that's going to be the end of this week's session. I hope it wasn't too chaotic.
I will say this was so much more tame than what we did for 6-1 Indie.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for you to see it.
It would be a little different vibes for us to be in that same situation, perhaps.
There's a lot of special guests that pop up during the 6-1 Indie.
Oh, okay. Well,
man, I wish Peely came through.
Peely would have. If Peely had just shown up behind us, that would have been amazing.
If you go to youtube.com/6-1indie, usually our podcasts are for patrons only. That one is available for everyone.
And you'll be able to find this at some point in the week. Who knows when we'll be able to get this up?
Oh, you have access to the file. You can put up whenever.
I mean, I'm not going to be home until a while. And if anybody checked out the Giant Bomb Couch, the Indie Informer, I can remember the name of my own site. Don't worry about it. Has a policy of not working the week during the show, and so we will be sort of taking a break a little bit, but we do have big announcements to talk about soon. So with that, this is the end of this week's council. Go check us out on socials. We are at the Indie Council on Blue Sky and a lot of other places. But until then, go play more indies.
Yeet.